219! 219!
Forward Progress. A Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abeticola on 312 Sports.
You want forward progress? We award it to you on 312 Sports. Bernstein, Abeticola. This is a Chicago Bears podcast brought to you by Beer Church Brewing, New Buffalo's brewery, pizzeria, in a historic church. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizza, small batch craft beer, brunch every day. Visit beerchurchbrewing.com. Things get curiouser and curiouser when it comes to the injury report for the Bears and the Steelers. We saw this last night when, we're never really sure when the report comes out of who is getting a little bit of rest and who might just kind of be a precautionary holdout or limitation on practice. But when most of the beat reporters start saying, maybe you're going to be without all your starting linebackers, then things get a little weird. So it looks like Tremaine Edmunds, going off did not practice designations Wednesday and Thursday. We'll obviously find out more in a little bit today of the likelihood of him playing. That would be the big one missing. We knew TJ Edwards was likely out, and now Noah Sewell, the elbow injury appearing to be a real thing, also didn't practice yesterday. And I usually think by the depth chart itself, there's really only two starting linebackers because of the way personnel groupings work.
Yeah, for sure.
And so many teams using 11 personnel and having three wideouts, that nickel is your starter. But you're down this depth chart a ways right now. So we shall see. I don't like the idea of Aaron Rodgers and these dangerous tight ends working the short and intermediate areas of the field with some inexperienced or lesser pursuers, tacklers, etc., and trying to take advantage of their eye discipline.
Now, with Kyler Gordon and Jaylon Johnson practicing, Jaylon Johnson was a full participation. Kyler was limited. This linebacker situation, you don't think that puts any extra pressure on getting guys out there?
I don't expect Jaylon Johnson to play. They just started the ramp up.
I know.
This seems like gamesmanship to me.
Okay, putting the full,
full participation in whatever his practice is. I don't really know how they have to define some of these things.
Yeah.
This gets back to Ravens week and Lamar Jackson and what they did, but it would be great if Jaylon Johnson played. I haven't heard anything to actually reasonably expect that after limited participation last week, all of a sudden he's like ready to get out there and play.
Yeah, because I think what we were targeting with both these guys was probably the Packers game after the Eagles.
Yeah.
Is that where they're at?
I think that makes sense, doesn't it?
Steelers at Philadelphia at Green Bay. Yeah, so we were looking at the first week of December, that December 7th game. A likelier possibility when they'd be back. And I just wonder, guys want to be out there, and if they're, again, I think that's a good point, what his full participation in his practice. But
I don't know how they define it.
Yeah, like for example, Aaron Rodgers yesterday was limited in practice. He didn't participate in all of the offensive stuff. He took some snaps from in the shotgun. And that was a limited participation.
Okay.
So I think their definitions are really loose as far as what that means.
Well, either way, not having these linebackers and going as deep as they are, I think is a tough look. And by the way, the word tough, if you now know, in sportscasting, tough means bad. In play-by-play speak, if anybody ever says a tough shot, tough call, nobody says bad anymore because I guess people have been told not to say bad. But if you're missing Sewell, Edwards, and Edmunds, just to make sure I have this right, you have DeMarco Jackson, you have the recently returned Amen Ogbongbemiga, and you have the fast but undisciplined Ruben Hippolyte II.
That's it.
The sequel to the original
right.
Ruben Hippolyte.
That's where you're at.
Well, and then it depends what they may do with the practice squad, right? Isn't that possible too?
Yes,
because
it is. You could call a guy up.
You got Carl Jones,
okay,
who you've seen that guy around before, and then they just signed Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
Yeah, they signed him a couple days ago, right?
Because apparently they can only have hyphenated names like Tryon Shoyinka and Reeves-Maybin are the guys they're bringing in.
The ramp-up period, like that 21-day period that you start, that doesn't mean you have to take the whole 21 days. It means that a guy has to participate for 21 days before you can
absolutely
get back in the gameplay. And if he's coming back from a hernia surgery and again, we don't know what the full core issue was.
Groin, core.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
we won't know
he's
until after the year.
Maybe he's ready to play and he's good to go.
Okay,
I mean, that's just when they
well,
started.
That'd be awesome.
So, no, it would be awesome. So that's why I wonder if he's closer to playing than what we originally thought, like the Eagles or the Packers game. Does that get ramped up slightly with injuries to your linebackers?
I don't know. I'd feel a whole lot better if DK Metcalf were looking across the line of scrimmage and that guy's standing there.
Yeah, for sure.
Be real nice. But the guys that worry me in this game are Jonnu Smith and Darnell Washington. I mean, hell, they go 3 deep at tight end because Pat Freiermuth, those aren't boos you're hearing. The crowd is chanting Muth. No, they're booing him, maybe. It's possible, too. Have you watched some of the plays that Darnell Washington has?
Yes. He runs people over like they're children. Children.
He is a vending machine.
Yes.
Vending machine.
No, it's
he is like they keep saying like he's around 300 pounds. He's
around 300 pounds of food when he eats.
He's 6'7", like 320.
Yeah, he's a monster.
And he's a tight end. And when he stiff arms people, he races them. Yeah. He knocks them off the screen.
No, I was watching highlights of him just running guys over like they were kids trying to tackle him.
I'd say go low. You got to chop him down like a tree, secure those ankles.
Yeah, you have to.
Otherwise, it's like tackling a van.
We have a saying, Dan, in our team. We say, no legs, no run. No legs, no run. That's how you got to remember. Offensive player, no legs, no run.
No Sosa, no problem.
That's right.
No legs, no run. Yeah, those. If you got linebackers, there's also side to side stuff that Jonnu Smith does. You know, this is the interesting tight end matchup because the Bears tight ends had a great game last game, and I think Colston Loveland is on a sharp upswing. I think when he starts to get it, and when he's ready to go, I'm not taking star off the table for Colston Loveland.
Yeah, no, for sure. And here's one thing that has to happen, I think. Looking at the defensive injuries and the defensive concerns there, the offense needs to have one of their better games of this season. They need to produce. And, if you're not going to fire on all cylinders, if you're still working towards December and when they're going to play their best football,
this would be a good day with a jump up in class
to start. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the Steelers are worst in running the football, right? They don't run the football well. I think they're averaging like 3.8 yards per carry. So if your defense is going to get into an opportunity where if Aaron Rodgers plays, he's going to have a chance to throw the ball and get downfield and get some points, your offense is going to have to be there. Offense is going to have to make some plays, and Caleb Williams is going to have to step up. He's going to have to hit those opportunities that are there downfield to kind of stretch the field and the defense a little bit. They're going to have to be able to run the ball, which they have run the ball the best in the league since the bye week. But this would be a really good opportunity for Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams and their offense to show even a better glimpse, a clearer glimpse of what this can look like. This would be the game for it.
It's funny because I think that if you're really paying attention, as we are, some of those glimpses are there. And I think we saw that in the first quarter of the last game. I really do. They're hunting coverages and hunting explosives.
In those missed opportunities, though. Is that what you're saying? Yes.
Yeah, and what I think is clear is that we can't judge this offense on the way we've looked at previous Bears offenses of, a 6-yard gain here, an 8-yard. That's not how Ben Johnson thinks. He would rather get those 20-yard gains. It's all about setting up explosives and taking advantage of the explosives and getting the coverage you want and making sure the pass is in a place where it's not dangerous, but it's catchable, where the exposure isn't there. And I think Caleb Williams is okay with that. When you start looking at his turnover ratio, that's not an issue at all. The overthrow to Roma Dunze on 3rd and 9 last week, the overthrow to DJ Moore. And the reason why a lot of people have asked about those plays is when they come early, those are the scripted series.
Yeah.
That is your insight into Ben Johnson. That's your insight into, if you get them early, it changes an entire game.
Yeah, Ben Johnson wants those 10-plus yard runs. He wants those 20-plus yard receptions. And
it isn't just wanting. He
that's how he schemes for it. Yeah, for sure.
Get them.
Because
yes.
it's not about, like, his offense is never going to be, let's just, dredge the ball downfield. We'll get, 3 yards here, 4 yards there, 3.5 there, and let's move the ball methodically downfield. No, he sets things up deliberately to afford those explosive play opportunities, and Caleb Williams needs to take advantage of it when they're there in the passing game. And again, this would be a really good game for that to happen. Because if you're going to be down all of your starting linebackers, and who knows what your defensive backfield is going to look like, if Aaron Rodgers does play, if he's healthy enough to play and can throw the ball, he releases the ball quick. They're fastest in the NFL. He's got unbelievable accuracy. He's going to read and know what you're doing before the snap happens. He will take advantage of the mistakes that you make. This is a game where the offense has got to step up and put points on the board.
I'm thinking, too, that this is going to be a physical battle, too. Both of these teams will come at you. Both these teams play hard and hit hard. I think it's one of the reasons why the Bears have caused so many turnovers, and that's where the opportunity is. If he is going to get the ball out, and they are going for some of the shorter stuff, there's your opportunities for a well-executed zone, to have the second guy in position, to have intelligent safety play, have the second guy ready to come in and punch, disrupt, get the ball out. Especially if they've had trouble running the ball. If there's crossers, if there is mid-range stuff with the tight ends, if you're so worried about Washington running somebody over, tackle the ball. Get it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see the first drive for the Bears. Their first 2 drives are going to show a lot of what they did in preparation for this week.
They always do.
And it's going to show a lot of how well prepared Caleb Williams is to deal with the pressure that's going to come from the defense. And we know the Steelers have one of the best teams in the league defensively as far as pressuring the quarterback. We know that's going to happen. It's going to happen on the first drive. It's going to be there quickly. How well prepared are they? How well prepared is Caleb Williams in recognizing what's going to be his outlet when that pressure is there? Is he going to, as Ben Johnson says, stay in the house while it's on fire and find that outlet? Or is he going to immediately do that 360 spin and look for an opportunity to get outside and either run or try to throw it downfield, maybe in one of those secondary plays that we've talked about now throughout this season? Or is he prepared and said, all right, if this guy comes this way, I know I'm going right here. And if we see that quickly in those first couple of scripted drives, that's going to mean a lot for what this team is going to look like for this game coming up on Sunday. But if it falls apart quick and we see him bailing out and trying to, makeshift plays and use his feet to create yards that aren't part of what Ben Johnson wants to do, it could be a long game too.
Well, I'm really looking forward to this game.
Yeah, no, I am too. I'm looking forward to every game.
Yeah, but this one specifically because it is a step up in class.
Yeah, it's a 6-4 team leading their division, one of the best defenses in the league, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. It's a really good test for what they can do defensively because we know they do some things really well, other things really poorly. The offense isn't clicking like they want it to. So this is a good chance to show that, hey, if you want respect, yeah, you're 7-3. This would be a good opportunity for you to put your name on the board as far as the NFL blob's concerned of this team is for real. It's not just who they've beaten.
I want to make sure, too, that the play that we have noted, the easily sniffed out wide receiver screen.
Hopefully that's gone.
And that's been in the script. Let the record show. Usually when that thing is screwed up and almost pick-sixed, almost housed every time they've run it, it has been among the scripted plays.
Because it was Van Ginkel, Crosby, and What was the third one?
It's already half a law firm that you've got there.
Yeah.
But I would just cross that one out.
Yeah.
Or do something that doesn't give it away.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then like reinvent it where it's not picked up on film so easily, where the defensive end says, "Oh, I know where this is going," immediately.
Or pump fake it and then throw it behind the defensive end.
Or throw it right at the defensive end, like right in his groin. That'll show you
like the original longest yard.
Yeah, that'll show you.
That was actually Ray Nitschke.
Come after.
Who played it? What was his name? Budzinski?
I have no idea.
And they said let him rush, and he just threw it right into his nads.
Yeah, or that was like what's the one with Denzel Washington? Remember the Titans?
Never saw it.
Really?
Really.
All right.
So, it just pisses me off. You put in longest yard, and Adam Sandler's picture comes up.
Well, because it was newer.
I know, but it still just feels wrong to me. I don't like it.
You never saw that one either?
I didn't. Because it's Bogdansky. Ray Nitschke plays Bogdansky. Let Bogdansky come in, and they throw it right in his ball sack.
Well, in Remember the Titans, the quarterback comes in, he's injured, the backup quarterback comes in, and he tells the offensive tackle, let the guy through. He throws the ball, and then as the end's about to hit him, he gets underneath him, shoulders him, and flips him over his own back.
Ooh,
yeah,
nasty.
It was a real important part of the movie that you've never seen. It's a good movie.
I'm sure it is.
Why would you never watch it?
I just didn't. I don't know. Just not on my list.
What, you don't like good acting?
I don't know.
You don't like Denzel? Is that what it is?
He's fine.
Okay.
I like Denzel.
You don't like football?
I love football. How's the football in the movie?
It's really good.
The actual quality of the
football.
football.
My God, it's the best.
The 1974 longest yard, the football's really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one with Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds, Eddie Albert, Ed Lauder, Michael Conrad, Bernadette Peters. Yeah. And then the actual football players, Joe Kapp, Ray Nitschke, Sonny Six Killer. So there's real dudes out there.
Sonny Six Killer?
Yeah.
All right.
Sonny Six Killer. Was he no, he wasn't a bear, but he was a pretty good player.
All right, so we'll get more information on injuries as they come out later. Remember, Aaron Rodgers was limited in practice yesterday. Did you go over the Steelers?
Oh no, I was planning on doing that.
Yeah.
So the Steelers notes yesterday. It's along Aaron Rodgers, limited practice, Darius Slay full, Jaylon Warren upgraded to limited, Cole Holcomb with an illness full, Alex Highsmith limited, Isaac Seumalo limited, Jonnu Smith full, Keyshawn Williams full, TJ Watt full, Cameron Hayward still resting and did not practice.
Yeah, because he was non-injury rest.
And
Wednesday, Thursday.
Kyler Gordon also listed as limited.
Yeah, he's limited. Jalen Johnson full. So,
all right.
Yeah, we'll get more information today. Looking forward to hearing more from Hallis Hall.
And this one's easy, by the way. If, in fact, there's the unlikely possibility that Kyler Gordon is out there, then you know that C.J. Gardner-Johnson will be a quote-unquote linebacker somewhere.
Yes.
You'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But it's hard to keep him off the field.
No, and you shouldn't be off the field. Like if you figure out a way to get both those guys on, that's a really good problem to have. So you'll figure that out. All right, here's some audio I want to play for you. We have first Dennis Allen, and he was asked about his preparation for the Steelers.
There was a little uncertainty in terms of what his availability is going to be. So you're studying in particular you're studying the scheme, and then you're preparing for the scheme, and yet you understand how each quarterback, likes to operate. There's plenty of tape on Mason Rudolph, and obviously plenty of tape on, Aaron too. So, we've spent a lot of time on it.
So just, being asked about how do you prepare not knowing if Aaron Rodgers is playing.
That's a non-answer. That's
I mean,
a total non-answer. You don't necessarily prepare for the scheme when Aaron Rodgers is out there.
Well, he's preparing for the scheme this week because he knows what Arthur Smith likes to do. And until you find out who the quarterback is, that makes the difference.
I mean, I know what he's saying, but yes, I get it.
All right, here's more Dennis Allen.
Understanding as a defensive coordinator, your job is to work with whatever you have out there. What's the feeling for you with Jaylon back on the field, Kyler trending the right way, ideally TJ back sometime soon?
Look, they're good players, and And so getting those guys back out on the field and getting them going, I think is going to help our defense. And so we're excited about having them out there. Both those guys, look good right now. So anxious about getting them on the field.
Position switch for Tremaine, does that put him in a better position or more advantageous position for the interceptions? I know he'd have 5 if that one wasn't called back.
Yeah, I think so. I think I think his skill set fits that position in terms of the things that we ask that position to do, and the size and length and the athletic ability. And so I think that's been good. I think when you're kind of in the middle, there's a lot of communication and things that have to occur, and you're able to kind of take a little bit of that off his plate, and he's a little bit more free to just go play, and I think that's been good for him. So I think he's adjusted to the position switch pretty easily.
Yeah, so it really shows in his play and on the stats, obviously, but take a little more off his plate, so less responsibility and just more go out and play football.
Interesting,
yeah.
Because I thought it was much more tactical, much more simply being the will instead of the mic, just allowed him to be in the fray.
Yeah, so
when it came to
less responsibility. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Take some more stuff off his plate, let him just go out there and play football. Follow the ball, track the ball, get the ball carrier. Yeah, I thought that was interesting from Dennis Allen.
Yeah, I would say that he fit the mold in the previous defense of the Mike backer.
Just not what Dennis Allen does.
Yeah, it's very different. In the Tampa 2, if you remember, when he was coming out of college, it's West Virginia, right? That the Tremaine Edmonds, the comps athletically and height and weight wise, some of the comps it was a reach, but it was Brian Urlacher, who was probably the best Tampa 2 middle linebacker who ever lived.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. You're right. And that was that fit his skill set, and maybe it's just more like the Will backer in this defense. Not to mention, I didn't think he'd go to that play, not overloading him with responsibilities of play calls and communications and all that.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Or maybe Edwards is better at it.
Right. For sure. Maybe that's just that because he said his skill set. So that's maybe just not in his wheelhouse. And that's fine because you're a hell of a football player. Maybe you're just not out there to communicate and the calls and the signals and be aware of what's happening. You're just out there to get the ball carrier. Courtney Cronin had a question of Richard Hightower.
Okay.
I want to refresh your memory from, remember we played the audio from Matt Daniels, the special teams coordinator.
Yeah, when he
from
said,
the Vikings.
Eddie, you or your kid could have run that thing back, and had he taken it up the sideline, well, then I would have been mad. But, what could we do? We didn't know he was going to cut it up to the other side of the field.
Yeah, and he was like, all he did was catch it and run. So Courtney asked a question of Richard Hightower. So I put a little something together to refresh your memory on Matt Daniels and Richard Hightower's response to Courtney's question.
From your perspective for the 56-yard return, can you speak to the level of difficulty? Because there's this perception out there that anybody could apparently do that return.
No disrespect or anything. A lot of respect for what the Chicago Bears, their unit, Devin Duvernay, all this and that. But, it could have been anybody. Son, if you got a son or anybody, all he did was just catch it and run back to the field.
From your perspective for the 56-yard return, can you speak to the level of difficulty? Because there's this perception out there that anybody could apparently do that return.
Yeah, I don't see it in any way. I see, the ball kicked out to us, ball in our hand, and we had an opportunity to make a play. And it's kudos to our guys that went out there and executed our technique, executed our scheme, executed our call. I'm not sure what the perception is or anything like that.
It could have been anybody. Son, if you got a son or anybody, all he did was just catch it and run back to the field.
Don't give us a chance. That's what we know. Anytime there's time on the clock, don't give us a chance. Offense, defense, or special teams.
I like how she phrased it.
Yeah.
There's a perception out there. I don't know where this perception arose.
Not sure where I heard it from or where it developed.
It might have been your counterpart from the Vikings who refuses to give any credit that it was just a thing that kind of happened.
Despite saying not taking any credit away, I'm going to take all the credit away.
All due respect and very little respect. All right. Well, it appears that Richard Hightower understood. He caught the drift of that. I just want to see Devin Duvernay run faster more often. I don't care if it's sideline. I don't care if it's middle of the field. When or what. Just get up to speed fast and house it.
Yeah. Richard Hightower, talking about that return, he used a phrase, and I love catching up on these phrases from these coaches. He said that they didn't blink. They didn't blink. That, in other words, he just took off and ran. And that's what I want to see him do. Just go run.
Down that
way. Find
away.
the hole and just run. Don't dance. Just run.
Did you see the kickoff return last night?
No.
Buffalo, when the full 360 spin at midfield without losing any speed.
Oh, really?
That was really cool. Yeah, it kind of got bumped and took the energy of the bump into a full spin without stopping his feet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was at dinner and I kind of half saw it. Like, wait, did I just see that? Right? Holy crap, was that a return?
So yeah, no blinking. Don't blink. Just go run. Run. Execute your blocks and just go run. All right, I want to play. I want to remind you of something that was said by the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback too.
What has to happen before you have a play on Sunday?
Got to get the okay and got to feel like I can protect myself.
Is there added incentive for you for the opponent this week?
There's incentive for every opponent, but I have enjoyed many a Sunday and Monday and many Thursdays in that city. It's a great sports town, phenomenal sports fans, and great place to play.
Do you sort of thrive off of being the villain there a little bit? Sort of enjoy that?
I'd rather not be. I mean, I'm not in Green Bay anymore. I feel like we can let bygones be bygones. Maybe I can, I guess. It's a great rivalry. I mean, in the history of all sports, you talk about the Lakers and the Celtics and the Red Sox and the Yankees. You got to talk about the Packers and the Bears. And there's been some great memories there. When I first got to Green Bay, the Bears had the all-time series lead. When I left, the Packers did. And since Jaylon has taken over, it's even gotten better. But I hope those fans can put that behind them. I'm sure they can't. Don't expect them to. But I really enjoy the city. They got great sports fans. I grew up watching WGN on my five-channel TV back in the day. So I was a Cubs fan and a Bulls fan. How can you not be a Bulls fan unless you don't like Michael Jordan? I did. I love them. So it was a lot of fun memories over the years playing there.
He is such a stroke.
Just wanted you to hear that again. So, getting ready for Sunday, want to really cement the idea that we want him playing.
He's just such a complete stroke job, this guy. I mean, how can you listen to that without going, hey, Aaron, no, knock it off. Like, after a while, just be like, you're holding the microphone in front of you, like, just stop. Come on. I really hope they can let it go. I'm sure they can.
Bygones be bygones.
Go. Good Lord.
I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Mason Rudolph, he was meeting with the media as well, and there was a little banter back and forth with the media and the backup quarterback about the relationship he has with Aaron Rodgers.
Isn't Mason Rudolph like one of these super high-strung guys?
He didn't seem that way.
Okay,
I
thought his reputation
cheesy
was
mustache.
Like,
maybe he is, but no, he seemed pretty laid back.
Okay,
but they were talking about the relationship he has with Aaron Rodgers, and apparently when they're in the quarterback's room, they like to play jokes on each other, and there's a lot of joking around, a lot of horseplay, between the quarterbacks. And they have a lot of fun together. So
it's not like the locker room at Top Gun, is it?
It could be.
A little towel snap
That's
here and
fine
there.
if it is.
All right.
Let me take my towel off first, and I'm going to snap myself with it. All right, so he was asked about some of the things that he jokes around about with Aaron Rodgers. Because Mason said that there's a lot of material. in his life that we can
All right,
joke
let's
around
write
about
this down. Let's write down what I don't know what he said.
Well, let's hang out. I'll let you.
I'm just trying to say, like, what do they joke about?
Okay,
What
so you want to figure out what they joke about?
What do they joke about? They joke about Aaron Rodgers being estranged from his family.
Yep.
They joke about him being a bizarre freako anti-vaxxer. They joke about what his vacations to the dark place to take various hallucinogens.
So one of the reporters said to Mason there that Aaron Rodgers referred to him as a troll, and he always like playing jokes. And then Mason was like, "Oh, well, he's a troll, and he has a lot to say as well too." And so they kept pushing him on the issue. Like, what kind of things do you joke about with him? Like, what are the things that you use? Like, give us some material. And he kept dancing around the issue. So here, this is Mason Rudolph.
What's your favorite material to use on him?
Probably nothing that, I don't know. I think there's a lot of good stuff. What's PG? I would say, I think, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think I don't think there's anything. He's got a very storied, he's a big plant medicine guy. And so we were curious about learning about, that and his experiences and where he's been and a great story about him getting out of, I believe it was Peru right before COVID lockdown. He was like the last plane out during a trip for ayahuasca. So that was a fun listen.
Okay.
Mason, did you think that you would have this close of a relationship with him before he signed here?
I didn't know what to expect. You never know. But I had enough mutual friends that said he was just an awesome guy in the room, and a lot of these ultra famous and ultra successful, but like can let his guard down and just be about as normal as you can ask for. So we've all appreciated that.
All right,
so as normal as you can ask for. If that's normal, I'd hate to see abnormal.
All right, so the first part of his answers,
it took forever for him to say, "I'm not telling you."
What? But okay, my bullshit meter just went off.
Yeah, of course.
Like crazy. There's no banter back and forth. There's no fun and horseplay. They play jokes on each other, and I don't buy it for one fucking second. I don't buy. Listen to how he was stumbling all over. Like, hey, tell us.
But he said PG.
I know, but he was rifling through his brain trying to figure out any fucking conversation he had with Aaron Rodgers outside of football. And he remembers, oh my God, yeah, there was this story about Peru. I think it was Peru, and he was on there, and he almost didn't get out because of COVID. I mean, he was stumbling all over himself.
Probably nothing that, I don't know. I think there's a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. I'm trying to remember one conversation I've had.
What's PG? I would say, I think, I don't know. I don't think there's anything. He's got a.
I don't think there's anything. And then it's like he remembers the story about Peru.
Well, maybe he's joking about his former girlfriend that created the rift with his family, or the fact that his family disowned him. Who knows?
Do you think Mason Rudolph would pull that out on Aaron Rodgers and use that against him if they're joking around and have this close relationship? I say,
hey, how's your family?
Bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's got a good relationship with their family. Step forward. Not so fast, Rodgers.
Right. No way. There's zero chance that he has any kind of a personal relationship with anybody on that team. I don't buy it. I think they respect him as a quarterback. They love that he's their quarterback because he's talented still, even at an older age. I don't buy him joking around in the quarterback room. He's a complete and total weirdo.
Yeah, Rodgers strikes me.
He keeps to himself during the offseason. He doesn't want to be around people. He's not joking around.
He strikes me as the kind of person who makes it seem like it's okay to joke around. Like, he can be self-deprecating perhaps and be one of the guys, but if you go there, he'll like give you a look and freeze you out for a couple of days.
Yeah, or you're like off the team.
Well, that too, right? He has your ass traded.
Right.
I don't know if he still wields that kind of.
I probably
power.
not.
I don't
and
think
not
he
with
does.
Tomlin. No, I wouldn't think so. But I don't see him being a regular. He's not a regular guy. He's never been a regular guy.
Or do you have to earn, if you're on offense, do you have to earn this, like your You have to be initiated into the secret society of the secret hand signals and phrases. You know, all of his like off-menu offense stuff. It's like In-N-Out Burger or whatever, where if you know the code to order something, you get special treatment.
I don't know. I just think he's a total weirdo.
In-N-Out Burger, mid.
One time, I don't even remember it.
Mid.
Yeah, I don't even recall.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, go to In-N-Out. Okay, I went. How was it? Fine.
All right, I got one little note here for you. Looking at the 10-game start for Ben Johnson in his first year as the
head coach,
Bears head coach.
Yes.
So looking at other first-year head coaches for the Chicago Bears during the Super Bowl era, so that's 1967 on. Then you have to I wanted to look at 16-game schedules, so that was 1978. So looking at every head coach from 1978 on, their first year, if Ben Johnson was off to the best 10-game start of any head coach.
Okay.
So 1978, we go to the first year, was first year of Neil Armstrong.
After Jack Pardee. Correct.
And they went 3-7. Mm-hmm. Then you jump up 5 years to Mike Ditka in 1983.
That was an 8-8 season.
So he went 3-7 in his first 10.
Yeah, they finished real strong.
Yeah, because 82 was the strike season, so that was also Mike Ditka, but it was a shortened year. I think they played 8 or 9 games only, right?
I went to 2 of them.
Okay.
Ugh.
So his first full year was 83, 3-7.
Oh, no, wait. No, I did not that year. I went to the other strike year games. That was 87, I believe.
87, yeah.
The next strike year, not that year.
1993 then is Dave Wanstedt.
And they went 9-7?
And in the first 10, he was 5-5.
Okay.
1999, Dick Duran. His first 10, he was 4-6. 2004, Lovie Smith. His first 10, he was 4-6. Mark Trestman gets on the board with a winning record of 2013 at 6-4 after 10. John Fox in 2015, he was 4-6 in his first 10. Matt Nagy in 2018, the 13-3 season, the Doink season, he was 7-3 in his first 10 games. And then Matt Eberflus will finish up the list. 2022, 3-7 his first year.
So the way I read that is this is the second best.
Yeah, it's the second time it's ever happened.
Right, or it's tied for
in Super Bowl era, in a 16-game schedule. So I thought, because obviously the 2018 season, you try to forget because the way it ended was so heartbreaking. I thought for sure he was going to have the best 10-game start in the Super Bowl era, and forgot that Matt Nagy went 7-3 in that damn season.
How could you forget?
Because it was crushing. It was soul crushing. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah, but that means you should remember. Now, here's what's really cool. Because the Bears lost their first 2 and they have that Baltimore loss in there, here's what you could look up. If the Bears win, not only is this another sort of defining playoff possibility spread game, they're all big from here on in. This would be their second 4-game winning streak. Because they won 4 in a row after losing 2. They lost 1. They won 3 in a row. When is the last time a Chicago Bears team had 2 streaks of 4 or more wins in a season? I know we've talked about at the end of seasons when they've performed well and they've said, well, we can't fire anybody because we were really bad to start and then we were less bad later, so we need to keep everybody.
When did the Miami Monday night game happen in the 85-86 season?
Well, we're already going back there. Yeah, so that was what? 10 games in? More than that? 11 games in?
Okay, so that you would have had a 4-game streak there, or 2 of those at least.
Yeah, if we're going back to the heyday Bears.
Well, I'm trying to think of those great seasons. What did the Bears do in the 2018 season?
Well, I'm looking at this one. Yeah, the Miami game was week 13. So they technically did not.
They did not. Okay.
They did not.
It was too late in the season.
It was too late in the season. The 85 Bears won their first 12, then lost and won their last 3.
All right. Let me take a look here at.
Well, the next year, they won their first 6, and then they finished out the season winning their last 7 when they went 14-2. So they did definitely do it in 86. I mean, I'm not going to go through the whole thing on Football Reference. But I just thought that was kind of cool. They did not do it in 87 when they went 11-4.
They did it in 2018.
They did it in 88.
So in 2018, they lost their first game. They won 3 in a row.
Okay.
They lost 2. Then they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Lost a game in overtime to the Giants, and then won 4 in a row to finish out the season.
Well, as long as it's still a relatively rare thing.
Yeah.
For
sure.
4-game win streaks, and they can do that with a victory at Soldier Field on Sunday. And to remind you, if you are not a part of the Forward Progress Bears post-game live broadcast on YouTube or webcast on YouTube, you should be, because it's fun. And I look forward to it every week, just knowing that we can get down there and flip these things on and just go with our immediate thoughts about how it can, and especially because these last games, everything has been immediate, and I've been all over the place.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I've been like sort of preparing, what I'm going to say and what's important and prioritizing, and then it's all out the window, and then I end up with no notes in front of me by the time we start because everything's flipped.
Yeah, because it's more, the last couple of games have been more about emotional feelings and being a meatball fan and enjoying it, and how did you ride the roller coaster of the games, and not so much the technical stuff that we get into as we get back into Forward Progress during the week. So, again, we'll have that Sunday for you after the Steelers and the Bears wrap up their game somewhere around 3. We'll go live on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're there for it. If you haven't subscribed yet, you need to do that.
Yes.
And then also click the little bell icon to get the alert so you know exactly when we're going live, because if the game is over before it's over, we start. And maybe there'll be a game where we're just so emotionally exhausted we need 30 minutes before we can start because we can't even talk.
And we'll tell you too, if you are following on Twitter or Blue Sky during the game, I try to make sure that we give
a little alert there
enough
too.
Advance warning, just to kind of remind you to get all set up with your subscription and your alerts, and then say, hey, we'll be on in a couple of seconds or on in a minute, because I'll send it, and then I run right down the basement and I put on my 3-1-2 quarter zip, and sometimes I forget to do
your uniform, your work uniform.
Yeah, or it's like it's like going down the bat pole down there, and I become 3-1-2 sports guy, ready to go with my Bears thoughts.
And then I've had people ask about what they can do to help the shows out, and I say what you can do is tell your friends to subscribe. Now you're in a circle of Bears friends. You're not listening to the podcast. Tell them to check us out.
Yeah, tell them there's something wrong with them.
Yeah, that's for sure. And then make sure you're subscribing to all the shows here we have on 312 Sports. So thank you for your continued support and all the feedback that Dan gets to read and peruse through during the week, and I glance at. So thanks for that.
No, it's all right. I like it. I like being the curator of
I read, and I'll scroll to see how long the messages are, and I'll go, all right, I'm going to read the first 2 sentences.
TLDR, and that's it. Well,
yeah.
I'll also say, people have asked me, like, hey, why didn't you read mine, or what? The stuff that entertains me, the stuff that makes me laugh, that makes me smile, the stuff, just good stuff, well written, well conceived. It isn't a democracy; it's a meritocracy.
So you're saying they're not funny enough?
Well, you don't have to be funny. They might just be something. Just the best stuff gets read.
So if you want Dan to read your email, like, impact Dan emotionally, speak to him, let him hear your thoughts.
Or
connect with Dan.
Work at the highest level of your intelligence.
Or be really funny.
And come up with something that especially if it's something where I say, I wish I would have thought of that. And there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And that's great, because that's how you expand and how you learn. But if it's kind of thing where, that's clever, that's interesting, or you're telling a story, or there's something unique that you've got a perspective on because of something that you experienced that nobody else has, that's the kind of thing you can share.
Well, if all else fails, just have AI create a song.
That worked too.
And we'll play it.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right.
I liked it. That is Forward Progress, and it has been, I should say, brought to you by our friends at Beer Church New Buffalo, because they are the place to be.
Yes.
They are, and if you're getting out this weekend, go there, because you can have the best Neapolitan pizza you can get outside of Naples. And Matt said that. Matt has had the actual Napolitan pizza, and the stuff at Beer Church is so good. Not only that, hanging out on the patio, and it's heated patio, it's open year round, and just noshing everything on the menu. And when I say the menu, it's actually a hymnal, because this is Beer Church. That's what this is. This isn't beer. It's not bar. It's not tavern. It's not restaurant. It's church. You're going there to worship, drink, eat, repent, repeat. You are worshiping pizza. You are worshiping the craft brewed beers and all of these special cocktails they have, and all of their full selection of gelato, the brunch menu, whatever you want. Maddie had, 2 different meals there a couple of weeks ago.
We had dinner, then we went back for brunch. I had sandwiches, I had salads, I had appetizers, we had pizzas, we had the pistachio crema with sausage, and then the margarita. I'm telling you, get there and plan for the long haul, because you're going to there's great beer.
Settle in.
Yeah, because get comfortable, because you're going to do appetizers. Then you're going to get yourself, when you're ready, a Caesar salad. And then you get through that, and then you're going to get yourself a pizza or 2 or 3. And then after the pizzas, you're going to sit for a little bit, you're going to have another drink, and then you're going to get gelato. And you're going to do a flight of 3 different gelato flavors.
Well, you skip past the sandwiches.
Well, you could do a sandwich too.
Yeah, how about their prosciutto di Parma wood-fired sandwich? It's their sandwich bread, and they bake it, the prosciutto with buffalo burrata.
Yeah.
Not buffalo, the milk comes from a bison.
Yeah.
Buffalo burrata, cherry tomatoes, sea salt. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and they make all the bread in-house.
Mm-hmm.
So just like their pizza crust, they make all the bread.
You didn't even mention the meatballs.
Yeah, well, so that's what I'm saying. Appetizer.
You get veal and pork meatballs.
You get meatballs.
Come on, man.
You get the sausage stuffed banana peppers.
And you've got the pizza school there, so if you need a place,
get the shrimp cocktail.
You need a place to do a party. Well, they don't call it a shrimp cocktail, remember?
Yeah, I know. What do they call it?
They call it the Saint Erasmus of Campania Colossal Shrimp Chalice. And I don't know why.
Yeah, because they add horseradish and then the Calabrian chili.
Why do they have Elmo there? Seriously, there's got to be a reason.
What's the name of my Reuben sandwich? Was it Jacob, son of Reuben, son of Jacob? What is it?
I think that's right.
Right.
Well, let me flip through the hymnal here. You got to give me the page number there, Father.
We'll go to the sandwiches.
Well, I am. It is Reuben, son of Jacob.
There we go. Yeah, so you get a sandwich for the table. You can all get a big slice of it. Come on, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But settle in. Yeah, for the long haul.
If you want to do the pizza school thing, do that too. Just Google Beer Church Pizza School, book a private class, learn how to make pizza, and then you can learn how to eat all their pizzas too, which is as quickly as possible.
Yes.
So their website, beerchurchbrewing.com, has all the info you need, and that is Forward Progress.
10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress. A Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abaticola on 312 Sports.